Hello, Jeremy here. Today I would like to talk about the Feel Flows vinyl box set. And I would like to talk about the bonus discs that are inside, and then I would like to show you some bonus discs, alternate bonus discs that I've made for this box set. So let's get into what is offered here in the official release. First of all, you get this really nice book here that I like to flip through from time to time. And I do like the cover art. Some people didn't like the cover art for this thing. I personally am a fan. Inside you get the two main albums, both gatefolds. Sunflower was originally a gatefold, but now there are two discs inside, and Surf's Up gets a gatefold with the lyric insert that came in the original album, and then you get a second disc as well. Now, you do get some bonus tracks on the main albums, which is a little baffling to me. I don't like bonus tracks coming up on main albums. For instance, on Sunflower, at the end of side 1, after It's About Time is over, you get Cotton Fields 2020 stereo mix, you get San Miguel backing vocals excerpt, and then you get It's About Time backing vocals snippet. And we just listen to It's About Time. I listen to albums, I listen to records differently than the way I listen to CDs. I feel like those formats are very different, and I feel like what they tried to do here is put as much as they could onto these discs. I appreciate that, but I also wish there was a little bit more thought put into how people were gonna end up listening to these. So on the bonus disc, you get, sadly, not very many vintage mixes of some of these outtakes. For instance, Loop to Loop, we get the original 1969 mix. That's great. I wish there was more like that on some of these discs. The rest of them are new mixes. And I do have some vintage mixes already on vinyl in the form of this Landlocked bootleg, my favorite Beach Boys bootleg. I believe these are all Steve Desper, like original mixes, or at least from the 70s. Great sounding versions of a lot of the songs that are on this box set. For instance, Loop de Loop sounds better here than the vintage mix does on here. I Just Got My Pay, Take a Load Off Your Feet, Good Time, Big Sur, Lady is on here. When Girls Get Together, Looking at Tomorrow, different version, Till I Die, different. Anyways, Help is on the way. A lot of the tracks are on here. If you can find this, find it, cherish it, love it. But going back to here, yeah, you get these new mixes on a lot of these outtakes. Some of them I do like, and I like to have some alternate versions of some of these songs. It's nice to hear some different things. I'll also say that the vinyl was cut by Chris Bellman, and I think Chris did the best he could do with what he was given here. I do think that the vinyl box set sounds better than the digital release. As far as vintage mixes on the second bonus disc at the back of Surf's Up, I believe the only one we get is Lady 1970 stereo mix. And that's it. But this is how I like to think about these bonus discs. Before this set came out officially, if you were to get bootlegs of these songs on vinyl, and they sounded as decent as these sound, I think you'd be pretty excited about it. There's so many good songs on these bonus discs. Mixing choices aside, it's great to have them. And I understand that some of these tracks never had probably vintage mixes. A lot of this is Mark doing the best he can to assemble what was there and create a finished song. So I appreciate the work that went into doing that. To me, some of the least offensive stuff from the digital release ended up on these bonus discs. It's kind of like the cream of the crop. The bonus tracks do sound better than the mastering that's on the main albums. And that's a good thing to acknowledge as well. Let's talk about the bonus discs that I have made. This is what I decided to do for myself. First of all, imagine you get the box set, you take out the main albums, you never listen to them again because of the mastering, and then there's more records inside. First you pull out, whoop, Add Some Music. This is the name of an album that was proposed and was rejected. And it contains, the original track listing of that proposed album, which was side 1, Susie Cincinnati, Good Time, Our Sweet Love, Tears in the Morning, When Girls Get Together, Slip On Through. Side 2, Add Some Music, Take a Load Off Your Feet, This Whole World, I Just Got My Pay, At My Window, Fallen in Love. Now, I have vintage mixes for this alternate disc. Don't ask me where I got them. I don't remember. Next, you have 2 bonus discs. You got Landlocked here. You got the Beach Boys' Reverberation. Now, what is inside these albums is not the proposed Landlocked album, and it's not whatever Reverberation would have been. I don't even know if there was a proposed album called Reverberation, but I know that that title was floating around. I already have the proposed Landlocked album. What I wanted to do was take the bonus tracks from Feel Flows and order them in a way that pleased me. And the main thing I decided to do was I decided to take all of the Brian and Al tracks, put them on an album, and then take all the songs from Dennis and Mike and Carl and put them on their own disc. These are not vintage track listings at all. These are my weird choices that some of you probably won't like. But again, for Landlocked, I decided this was going to be the one that I put all of the Brian and Al tracks. So there's Brian, there's Al. And here are all the tracks that I put on. I put on Loop-de-Loop. Because I already have the vintage mix on the Feel Flows box set and on this disc, I decided to use Al's redux that he did in the 90s, which I really, really like, with his alternate vocal and different mix. Then you've got Breakaway. This is the one with Brian singing the first verse. Then you've got Take a Load Off Your Feet, Help Is on the Way, Games 2 Can Play, and I Just Got My Pay. Again, these are all kind of Brian and a little bit of Al. There is like a theme that's running through this whole album, which is trying to take care of yourself better. And then on side 2, you've got My Solution. You've got Awake with Brian single-tracked. You've got Good Time, Where Is She, the older mix that Mark did for the Made in California box set that doesn't have all the weird edit choices. Then you've got Back Home. This is the 1970 version that Al sings. And then you've got Won't You Tell Me. This one starts with Brian singing on the organ, just him by himself in the studio with his dad. And then it transitions into the more completed version of it with Brian and Carl singing on it. So that's Landlocked. You hate it? It's okay, you can feel that. Then you have Reverberation. So this is the track listing I have for this. Soulful Old Man Sunshine. This is a mix that Jiggy did where he kind of meshed the 2 different versions that we've had released officially and put them together. So you've got Brian's vocal arrangement for like the intro and the outro, but you get Carl's clean vocal going throughout the whole song. You've got Cotton Fields, San Miguel, Celebrate the News, Sweet and Bitter, Barbara. This has got a lot of Dennis on it. Side 2 starts with A Time to Live in Dreams. I know this isn't really from the right era. I know this was written quite a bit earlier, around 2020, but I love this song, and it sounds like the same Dennis to me, so I put it at the front of side 2. A Time to Live in Dreams, It's Natural, Big Sur, Behold the Night, 4th of July, Wouldn't It Be Nice to Live Again. Side 2 is very dreamy. So that's what I have for my 2 alternate bonus discs. Again, not trying to recreate anything that would have actually come out at the time, but trying to order the tracks in a way that makes sense to me, that makes it feel like an actual album, and also kind of gives it a certain feel all the way through. I think it's really hard to take all of the songs from this time period and try to make an album because everybody was doing different things. You had, Brian doing his weird, healthy carnival music with Al, and then you had Dennis writing his own music. You had Mike and Carl. So I like these. I listen to these a lot more than the bonus discs that came in this set. I love this era. I love listening to these songs. I now have so many different ways to listen to these songs. I've got the original albums, the original pressings. I've got these vintage mixes of all these songs. And then I have some alternate mixes, you know, some newer ones and some from the last 20 years. I compiled those and put them on these. That's what I wanted to show you today. I don't know if you like that or not. Feel Flows was an interesting release. I've kind of gone through different stages with my feelings towards it. At first I was really excited. Then I was really deflated when I heard a lot of the mastering and mixing choices. And now I've kind of come back to it. Appreciate what is on offer there. This is what we have, and this is how I've decided to make the best of it. Let me know your thoughts, and see you with another video sometime soon.